I'm not thinking this wrong. Okay. So.
Well, I think we would like to have a presentation from the special ed director.
We have asked for that information. That's not part of the budget process, but yes, that was something. Yeah, so that's for a future agenda this year. Given the fact that we're going to be hiring a superintendent, it may take up a lot more of our time, but I would hope that we would have that before the end of the school year. Okay, do you have a number for us?
Yeah, it's on 3%.
Okay, do you have a bottom line number?
8371715.
Okay, okay, so.
Michelle, I'm sorry, can I ask a clarifying question? Is that?
Unless it's urgent, but it's really,
well, it's
only because you're.
Right, the question is that you voted on the friendly amendment.
Yes,
and not program 2. Okay. Are you still working on program 2?
We're coming back to
that.
Okay,
that's just the question. The
we've got program 2 to come to, and we've got the bottom line amendment for the whole
that's
piece.
Okay.
But I need to have that number.
I thought so. I just
I didn't have the number. Okay. So the clarification was, with the friendly amendment we just passed, the increase to the bottom line is a total of 3%. Right? So if there are any additional amendments or changes to program 2, we have not closed that question yet. So there's still that opportunity if there are any additional amendments or changes to program 2 you would like to make, or questions or concerns about that before we move to a vote. Okay. Do you have a number for me for program 2? No. I just want to make sure that I have the 2 pieces. Oh, no, so we're going to go, we're going back to 2, right? Okay, so the question on the table is, the motion that still is on the table is the original number for program 2, because remember we added it to the bottom line and not to program 2. So, all those in favor of the motion on the table to accept the superintendent's proposed budget for program 2, Hall Middle School at $1,818,896, signify by saying aye. 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 All those opposed, say nay.
Nay.
No abstentions. Motion carries. Okay. So that's motion 2. We carried all 10 sections of the budget. Congratulations. We are finished with that section of the budget. What we are going to be sending to the Board of Finance is the bottom line of, for those of you counting, $8,371,715. That's the total number. You want it one more time? $8,371,715. Okay. Whew. As promised, the rest of our agenda is riveted, so please stay tuned. Moving on to the next order of business is communications. I'd ask that you keep your voices really low because there's a bit of an echo up here in the front of the room. Okay, additional communications, Jackie?
No.
Okay. Board of Education Chairman's report? Nope, nothing to report. Superintendent's report?
Just 2 things. I think some of you were at the CIP meeting last evening. We were recipients of about a $30,000 security grant, which basically was reimbursement based on security work that had been done at Hall School in particular. The money will go right back to the town, and we anticipate, we hope we receive that soon. We still have some paperwork we understand has to be completed. The other thing I thought I would bring you up to date on January 6th, we had some issues, serious issues at Hall with regard to no heat in the building, pipe bursting, and our insurance company has been working with us. They will be paying close to, when we're done, I believe it will be close to $35,000 for the incident that occurred at Hall School. And we couldn't have had a better insurance company to work with. They've been very gracious about supporting the kinds of things we need to do. Replacing carpet in the band room, we're having instruments repaired that might have mildew, that kind of thing. We're replacing a ventilator, we're repairing 2 other ventilators. There's quite a lot. And we will be paying our deductible for against that, but the whole total looks like it's coming in about $35,000.
Okay. Financial reports is attachment 1.
So we are about 3.1% remaining in our budget, so we're on track. Special education, you'll note, is a negative 5%, but Jackie told me that's because of the grant hasn't come in. Jackie, do you want to talk about that?
Yes, we do anticipate a grant offset. We just haven't taken that, the grant offset yet, so that will not look quite as deficient as it does right now.
Fair enough. Are there additional committee reports?
Policy, we didn't need to.
Okay. Moving on to new business, approve the minutes of January 9th, 2018. Do I have a motion to that effect?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of January 9th.
Seconded by Tracy, so Mary Beth and Tracy. Thank you. Comments or questions about the minutes from our January 9th meeting? Seeing no hands, move the question. All those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Moving on to, we have to approve the minutes of the Board of Education budget workshops of January 29th, January 31st, and February 1st. And we can do all 3 of those together if I have a motion to that effect.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the budget workshops of January 29th, January 31st, and February 1st.
Thank you, Kiara.
I'll second it.
Second by Ann. Any questions with those minutes? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, passes unanimously. First reading of policy and regulations, 6142.101. Oh, I'm just trying to get to June, what can I say? C, approval of modified February 2017 to 2018 school calendar and approval of a standard 2-hour weather-related delay effective 2/20. So there is a handout in your packet that shows the revised calendar, which also shows the weather-related closing. So is there a motion on the table to this effect?
So make a motion to approve the revised calendar for 2017-2018. And of 2 hours.
Is there a second?
Second.
Kiara and then Mary Beth, thank you. A question on these, all of these were full day delays? They weren't delays, these were all full days?
Closings.
Closings? Okay.
There were, can you believe that? 8 closing days, and we're not done. This is just February.
It doesn't even feel like we've had that much snow.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
Two of them were rain.
we have, exactly.
Ice.
We haven't, well, they were ice. We're not going to give you a calendar with getting approval for the final day for students or staff because we still have issues.
Because we don't want to jinx
Right,
ourselves.
exactly. We are asking that with your approval for the students to attend on the 20th and the 21st. We have sent letters out to our parents, and we're just hoping we don't get a snow day on any one of those days. And we talked with all of the folks in the E.O. Smith group that we coordinate our efforts with, including Columbia, and we're all going to go to a 2-hour delay. We felt that perhaps there might have been at least one day in which we could have had school had we had another half hour that the roads, our road crew could have been out. So we're going to start using that as a standard after President's Day. So that's what we're seeking your approval on that as well.
Comments? Questions?
I think the changing from a 90-minute delay to 2 hour, from what I've heard from other districts, they have made that change and it has made an impact on how many days they've had to cancel versus delays.
Good to hear.
Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Now moving on to the first reading of policy and regulation 6142.101, instruction, health and wellness, which is included as attachment 4. Thank you for the policy committee for putting something together. Is there a motion to accept? No, we don't have to accept it because this is just the first reading.
Right. And we actually, the policy committee, and you can speak to the fact that we're ready to bring first reading of 4,000 policies to you, but tonight we didn't want to lengthen the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And then this policy, we do have an audit that's being done by the state. It's done every 3 years of our food and nutrition, and that's underway. And so when we looked at our health and wellness policy, we felt as though it needed to be revised. We do have a wellness committee. They assisted us with this, and we put together some new regulations. So this will be on first reading. It'll be all ready for the committee when they come back in April to finalize their report.
So since that's not something that requires a vote, I believe we are moving on to number 9 on our original budget, which is present to speak. And there were a number of people who wanted to wait until after the budget process to speak, and then anyone else after those people is welcome to comment. If you raise your hand, please state your name and your address for the record. So first was Thomas Fox.
Am I allowed to ask any questions to the board?
Again, this is a meeting in public, so you're welcome to ask questions, but we're not going to answer them here at this point. This is for us to hear about your concerns, so you can raise the questions.
All right.
Yeah.
I have a question then. How much money is allocated to each student, and how many students are now in the WIllington school system? Okay, all right. I would suggest, I think that the whole system has to be overhauled. I would propose that this whole system be overhauled and this whole school system be privatized. Okay, so we're not under any union regulations or anything like that in regard to that. I think any teachers or anybody who's in the school system right now, if they want to incorporate and bid on a contract to teach in the school, we can lease out the school to them, and they can bid on it. I also propose too that the money allocated for each student go with each student. Allow them to take the money, do homeschooling, let the parent decide if they want to do homeschooling, let the parent decide if they want to send them to a private school, parochial school. Let the parents decide what they want to do with what education choices they want for their children. In addition to that, I would say too, it would solve the problem as far as 2 schools, one being half empty, one being overcrowded. It would alleviate the whole problem of building a new school. And that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you for your comment. I believe Aaron and Sean Pelletier, are you still here?
No.
Oh, okay. Is there anyone else who'd like to comment while we have this time?
I just want to say thank you to the board, to the superintendent. It's painfully clear on how your hearts are always in doing the right thing for our students, as difficult as those decisions always are, about staffing, about secretaries, about furloughs, and everyone in the community appreciates the work of the board and the administration and the teachers and principals and the janitors. This is a mayberry of Connecticut, and we love this town, and we love that there's a fellow here.
Additional comment?
Yeah.
Mr. Jellin? Name and address, please.
Yes, Robert Jellin, 38 Lucerne Drive. I have been a member of this board for 8 years, back in the previous century. And I have been on Region 19 now for 17 years and was reelected in November. From the very end, I'm a career teacher. I taught for 37 years in Tallinn. The main goal that I have always come to participation in this board and in the Region 19 board is to maintain and to make sure that students from WIllington are given the most expansive education and the most rudimentary education as well. So basically what I'm saying is that I appreciate everything that you folks are doing. However, I I do caution you, and from your recent actions, I say tonight that the main goal is educating our children well. It is not keeping the tax base down. It is not, and if you do not have children in this school system, you should come to this board, and any other board that you might subsequently be a member of, with the idea that number one, you are providing for all the children in this town. You are not providing for just a small segment, but all the children. You cannot come into this meeting or any other civic meeting with the idea that you are a special interest person. If we are gearing everything that we do in this meeting, or we spend a great deal of our time in conversation, in, back and forth, trying to reach a compromise, keeping in mind always that it is the Board of Finance. Obviously, they have a very important function in the town. However, your function supersedes that, because the most important thing this town does is to educate its children well. All of the children well. From pre-K right up through high school. And going back in the early 90s, we made the decision to become a part of Region 19. And ladies and gentlemen, yes, going from center school, going from hall school, and then going on to Region 19 E.O. Smith, you are providing your children with the best possible education in this part of the state of Connecticut. We should do nothing to lessen the quality of the education that my daughter went through, both here at Center, Hall, and at E.O. Smith. And from there, and for those critics of E.O. Smith, children graduating from E.O. Smith and then going on, the acceptance rate in colleges and in fine colleges across this country is exceptional. So please, if you have criticism, if you have criticism of education at any level, first go to the teacher, then go to the principal, and then eventually many times the superintendent. But do not talk it up unless you've contacted the first person of contact, and that first person of contact is your child's own teacher. It has been my privilege to serve on this board for 8 years, Region 19 for 17 years, and as a career educator. Please, ladies and gentlemen, never, never, never look at what the Board of Finance is going to say. If your children are not enrolled in this school, you are a taxpayer. I understand that. I empathize with that. But you know what? You have a responsibility to this community as well. Thank you.
Anyone else present to speak? I see a hand in the back. Mike,
Mike Choi, teacher at Hall Memorial School. I just want to thank the board for all the thought that they put into this budget. Again, I appreciate all the opinions, because this is a really hard process and it does require a lot of different thinking from a lot of different places to make a good balanced budget. So thank you guys for all the work that you're doing. Thanks to Jackie and to all the administrators who put time into this as well. We can't do our jobs without you guys doing your jobs well as well. And then also on a positive plug, 2 weeks until the musical. So everybody should get out and see, what are we doing? Little Mermaid.
What are we doing?
I can't remember. I've been here so long.
You're not all singing the songs all day long? It's on your head. Peter, I saw your hand.
If I may.
If you have.
I can give you letting speak personally. Peter WIllington, 97 Trask Road. I want to again thank the board, the administration, and superintendent for all the hard work they put in. And I'm reassured tonight in hearing answers to my questions about the fact that you are in fact working with the Board of Finance. I'll differ slightly with Bob, who I served on the Board of Education. I think we're in this together. I think the Board of Education needs to work with the Board of Finance. And toward that end, I would encourage you perhaps to consider what Ken Shopman, the previous chair, did in past years, where you would schedule a joint meeting of your boards. And the area I would suggest you focus on is some of the changes that are occurring that I think the superintendent alluded to in the area of MDR, MER, mandate relief. As the chair mentioned, there's a lot of things that have happened in Hartford in the past year. There may be opportunities there to address what Tracy is saying, that we can't continue to cut fractions of positions. There need to be structural changes. And I think that's a good opportunity where the two boards can come together, look at that, and then get to a place that works for everyone. Thank you again for your efforts. Good evening.
Thank you. Additional public comment? Okay. Oh,
Linda.
give me a second.
I won't be that long.
No, we're good.
Linda Miner, Navigable Road. Thank you all. You obviously do a great deal of work. I appreciate it. Dr. Jacoby was very nice, helped me out when I went into the office to look through some public information I was looking for. She's always spoken very well at these meetings. I tend to agree with a lot of the direction that she mentioned at the beginning of this meeting, and my understanding, you're working part-time. I know you're not going to answer questions, but but as a part-time superintendent, seems to be serving the students and the community well, and I think we should stick with part-time, hopefully, Dr. Jacoby, but if it has to be someone else, part-time's been working out great. I think that would save us a lot of money and continue to serve our students and the town. Thank you.
Last call. Seeing no hands, we will move on to the next point of our agenda, which is board comments. I'm not going to set the timer for you, I'm going to set this aside. Okay. Okay, we're ready. We can start at the end and work our way in. Tracy?
All right, first I'd like to thank the, Mr. Stevens and Mr. Craig for offering the board members tours of the school's facilities this week. That was very helpful and informative to have us all be on the same page and understand what our facilities are like and what our students are doing, and fantastic things that are happening in our schools with our teachers and staff. And also to thank all of you who came to the meeting this evening. Whether you spoke or not, we appreciate your interest in our schools and what the board does, our goals.
Anne?
I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and letting us know your opinion about things, and hopefully we'll have your support when it comes to the time of the referendum. And we will continue to work with the Board of Finance as in the meantime until we get to that.
I want to thank also the two administrators for giving us a tour, which was very helpful, and all of you for coming and letting us know your thoughts. And hopefully we will be able to have more of a conversation with the Board of Finance to understand how state budget and then local budget are affected since we are the biggest piece. I do though keep in mind that our main goal is to educate our children well. So I'm going to keep that focus. I think Herb expressed that thought very well last time. I know he's not here today, but I agree with that. And thank you, Dr. Jacoby. I hope you don't take it as questioning your CEO abilities. I know
My job is
that
to provide you with as much information as possible.
and
Your
we
job is to make the
appreciate with
decision.
all the options and the thought that you guys put into it.
I would like to also thank the administrators for a tour. I want to be a kindergartner again. It was awesome, and I can't believe how little the kids were. I realized how big my kids are. The tours were great. Thank you so much for opening up the schools. Dr. Jacoby for all the work she's done, but the entire board. This meeting doesn't just happen tonight. A lot of work went into these meetings, and everybody here votes their conscience and does the best they can to digest all the information that's given to us and do the voting. I just would invite all the people who are passionate about the position, and I congratulate the position that was supported. That you should need to get involved in the conversation. There's a bigger conversation that has to happen about where our schools are going, and only the community can really drive that. We have a lot of volunteers on the Board of Finance and the Board of Ed and other boards, and it's always hard to get people to volunteer. So I encourage you to be more involved than just one night, because that's the only way we're going to drive forward. I came here for the schools, and I would hate to see the schools leave here. So we have to have that vision. That's one vision I think everybody has, to keep the schools here.
Yes, and I'd like to answer somebody from the public. Towards, I know everybody's saying, oh, this crazy lady wants to cut everything and just fire everybody. I just don't want you to have this opinion. I just strongly believe that at the Board of Education, our main goal is to educate children. But as responsible people, as I am representing people who voted for me, we have to have a healthy balance. As we are responsible for the greatest part of the budget, that's a great responsibility. And we cannot just close eyes and keep eyes on 400 kids, which is extremely important. This is our focus. But we do not see the rest of the 6,000 people. So we have to have a healthy balance. Obviously, our main focus is greatest possible education for children. But healthy balance, that's my position.
Thank you. You talked enough, you're done. Okay. I want to not only thank all of you for coming out, because public participation really changes our capacity. Having an audience here matters, your voice matters. Don't let this be the only time you use it, because what we decided here today will not hold unless you continue this conversation. I want to thank the administrators as well and the staff who are here. But I especially want to thank all of you, my co-board members. This is the first time I've chaired a budget meeting. This is the hardest one of the year to do. We are done in 2 hours and 7 minutes. With a regular meeting too. So thank you for your patience as we went through this and for your thoughtfulness in the process. We are all volunteers here. We're all members of the community, live here, and do this for the fun of it because we don't have anything else we want to do, I suppose. But I appreciate the amount of work all of you put into this and the amount of thought. So thank you all very much, and let's call for adjournment at, so moved? At 9:05.